Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and I appreciate y'all being here at the channel today. And welcome back to all of our subscribers. Appreciate you being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, and then also please hit that like button as well. Now, to learn more about me, learn more about my company, please check out the links below on how we can help take your business, to that next level. Now, our topic for you today, it's how to avoid gym business failure. How to avoid gym business failure, okay? I want to give you 5 things to think about here, okay, that you can work on as part of your objectives every day to make sure you're improving your business. So, number 1 is, supervise cash flow. Supervise cash flow. When we get into a turnaround situation and going into a gym and, hey, we got to get them back on track, we're trying to save them. One of the first orders of business is we always need to maintain a cash balance in the account. Okay, so let's just start doing that from the very beginning. Okay, let's make sure our budgeting is such. Let's make sure that we're managing our business as such that we always have money in the account. Supervise this cash flow. And one of the challenges here that I see a lot of folks have is let's don't do it because we're cut. Okay, yeah, sometimes you have to cut, but it doesn't mean you don't have to produce. Because usually one of the first things we look at, hey, we'll cut staff, we'll cut marketing, and now you're cutting off your oxygen supply. Okay, because that's what your selling is. Selling is oxygen to your business. So while we want to supervise cash flow, don't cut off your oxygen supply. We still need to produce. But make sure you've got pro forma budgets in place. Make sure we're managing these budgets. From my standpoint, nothing gets spent without me knowing about it, okay, until further notice, okay, in some cases. And making sure that we're looking for ways to kind of mitigate all of this, because one of the other common things that I see when we talk about supervising cash flow is we want to put ourselves in a position to be able to supervise cash flow. Let's get the right lease for our building. Let's negotiate pre-sales. Let's all these things that kind of tie into this. But supervise the cash flow. Stay on top of it. We must maintain positive balances. Okay, and if you're in a situation where the business is failing, you only pay what's going to keep you in business. Okay, but you do need to communicate this. Don't just stop paying folks. You got to communicate it, and you got to come up with a plan. And there's a whole strategy on that, and we've got some pretty good videos, I think, on how to do some of that. You can search the channel here on how to get your business back on track. Number 2, on how to avoid gym business failure, avoid going into debt. Okay. And a couple things on this. Sometimes debt, you can't avoid it, and sometimes debt can be a good thing. As long as your debt is generating revenue. If it's debt that generates revenue, okay. But if it's debt that's just debt, the worst case is when you have debt and you're paying that debt with other debt, okay. And certainly what you want to make sure you have is you want to be able to manage your debt. Your debt needs to stay manageable. Okay, I talk to a lot of clubs, big ones and small ones, and if you could just get rid of the debt, they're a pretty good operation. Okay, but what got them into that problem? And let's really take a look at it. And if you're struggling with that, get some help. Okay, you can contact me. We're offering a 45-minute free strategy session. Check out the links below. You can direct message me on Twitter, email me, text me, any of that's fine. 45-minute free strategy session. Talk to folks that have been there. Talk to folks that understand, but avoid the debt. Okay, wherever you can. And if you do have debt, make sure it's generating revenue for you. Number 3. And I'll talk about this in a few different ways, but create a solid business plan. If you do not have a business plan, get one. I know we help a lot of new gym startups with their business plan, and we do it in a collaborative manner. And the reason we do it in a collaborative manner is not just a business plan, it's not just budgeting, but it's also a high-level education on the business. Because what I want you to have is not only, here's the plan, I want you to know the how, I want you to know the why, I want you to know the pivot, okay, when things don't go right. And so that's part of our strategies when we help you develop that business plan. So if you don't have one, get one. And if you do have one, use it. Because as a business owner, you want to be working on key objectives of that business plan every single day. Okay, every day you're working on the key objectives of that business plan. What are the risks to your business and how are you going to mitigate that? And how are you working on that every day? What's your marketing strategy? What is your strategy to get known by everybody in your marketplace? We're working on this every day. But get yourself a solid business plan. And that also goes hand in hand with one of the things that we're always doing, or always looking for money. Whether you take it or not, maybe a different story, but you're always looking. Just, you never know. Having that business plan going to help you do that. Number 4, maintain good customer service. How to avoid gym business failure. Maintain good customer service. Gym attrition is poor, okay, across the board. I mean, I'm seeing 4 to 6% a month. That's 50 to 70% of your members we're losing every year. And one of the things you want to know, on issues with retention, it really is a reflection of your experience, of the experience that the customer is getting is the best way to look at it. And are we providing that experience for them? Okay, are we given, even beyond just good customer service, good faith effort in that? Do we have an inspiring culture? Okay, are we getting back with people quick? There's so much that goes into this. I would even suggest, doing member surveys, understanding, what your net promoter score is, which measures your customer satisfaction. How likely are they to continue on as a member? How likely are they to refer somebody? Understanding all of this, but making sure you're keeping your customer service, at the highest level possible. Okay, if you think it's good enough, it's not. It's got to be better. Okay, because the first rule here is let's keep what we've got. Let's give that high level customer service. Okay, take a look at that and really understand, hey, what is our strategy on retention? Are we pulling every morning a member usage report on folks that are not active every single day? And are they getting into a whole call sequence whereby we're going to nurture to get those folks back in? Okay, that can make a big difference for you right there, because I know a lot of clubs, they do a pretty good job in a lot of things, and that one thing they really don't work on. I was on a webinar one time with, there's probably 100 folks on that on that webinar, and one of the poll questions was, do you have a retention strategy in place? Not one person said they did. They simply try to handle cancels as they happen. You need that strategy in place, i.e. a customer service plan. And then finally, how to avoid gym business failure. Learn from your competition. What's your competition doing? Okay, what mistakes have they made? What missteps have they made? And I would even look at outside the industry. What mistakes have other people made? Okay, I can tell you one of the big mistakes. There's a bunch of them. We could go deep on that. But how about your online presence? Do you have what I would call internet density? Can people find you anywhere and everywhere? Okay, are you selling online? Is your website, do you treat your website like it's a storefront, just like you do your physical plant? Or is your website merely an online brochure? Look at what other companies have done in that regard. Look at what your competition is doing. There can be some great opportunities for you. So how to avoid gym business failure. 5 tips here. Take a look at each one. How do you fit in? And what can you do to take your business to that next level? Folks, my name's Jim Thomas. My company's Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate you being here today. And again, to learn more about me and my company and how we can help you take your business to that next level, please check out the links below, and we'll look forward to seeing you all in that next video.